I can prove to you that Jesus was never crucified in 45 seconds.
And I can prove to you why everything he's about to say is a lie. These takes just keep getting crazier and crazier. Well, let's hear it.
Point number one, the Quran clearly states that Jesus was not crucified.
Oh, so you mean to tell me we're already sourcing a book that came 700 years after, written by an illiterate pedophile that never knew Jesus? I think if you want to know more about someone, you'd probably go to the written account of their life, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
And we know that the Quran is the only religious text that's never been altered.
This is a common argument by Muslims that holds absolutely no historical weight when you actually go and check the facts. A quick Google search can actually tell you there was at least 4 other versions of the Quran until 650 AD when ruler Caliph Uthman Affan burned and destroyed all other versions of the Quran and made it all into one standardized Quran that we know today.
Right? So the Bible has been altered, and he said that it was crucified. But if the Bible has been altered, how can we know that's the truth? And we know the Quran's not been altered, so we know it is the truth.
Again, the Quran has been altered multiple times. The early Islamic leaders just did a mediocre job at making it seem like it hasn't. These claims can be easily disproven by a quick internet search today.
Point number two, the Gospels accounts, they contradict each other, right? So the people who say this is what happened during the crucifixion, they have different opinions, and if there's different opinions, how can we know which one's the truth?
There is no contradictions among any of the Gospels on the crucifixion of Christ. Yes, they all have their own individual perspectives on the crucifixion, but that doesn't change that they all say the same message and talk about the same crucified Messiah. It's just like a police officer gathering information for a hit and run. He's going to ask every individual witness what their own perspective was on the events that occurred. And yes, there's going to be differences between them because everyone has their own perspective and their own view on the events that happened.
Which leads me into part number 3. None, and I mean this, none of the disciples saw the crucifixion.
Now we know this isn't true. John 19:26-27 explicitly talks about the Apostle John and the Mother of God being present at the crucifixion.
And number 4, early Christians back like way long ago, they disagree on if it happened or not, right? There's a disagreement. So I look at this. If this is one of the most important parts of your religion, why is there a disagreement?
Yeah, so there's actually no Christians that don't believe on the resurrection of Christ. Literally, the definition of being a Christian is believing on and worshiping the resurrected Christ. And the reason why there is any disagreement is because literally right after the resurrection, the Jewish priests and elders paid the Roman soldiers to go and spread the narrative that the disciples came and stole Jesus' body.
It should just be a clear fact that it happened. There shouldn't be any this, that, come on.
Yeah, I think most people would agree. When you actually read the Bible, it's pretty clear what happened.
And number 5, why would God humiliate his prophet by doing that to him?
There's a lot of good scriptures that answer this that I'll put on screen, but my favorite one is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21. For our sake, God made him who had no sin to become sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God.
No, what really happened, the truth, is God raised Jesus up to heaven and saved him from the crucifixion.
No, without Jesus' death and resurrection, there's no remission of sins, and by denying that, you're denying God.
And now you know the truth.
I pray these Muslims that listen to this truly find God.